there's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, you know, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies.
Yeah.
So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
community. It is
community.
very strong.
consequences. No more second chances. I know better.
Sobi. Before we jump into today's show, I want to give a big thank you to everybody. Actually, I want to thank all of my listeners across all the platforms, each and every one of you. I don't know if you can appreciate this, but when you do like content on the regular, and I'm a hobbyist, you know, I have a regular job. I dedicate most of my waking hours to my regular job, but I do this as a hobby and it's a passion, you know. It's sort of like fishing, but you really can't make money while you're out fishing. So this hobby actually does pay off to some degree. You know, it buys me cups of coffee and sandwiches and pays the phone bill and all that. But when you're unable to make money at a monetizable thing, it is immensely frustrating. And when I lost my monetization years ago, that kind of sucked. And then I lost my Cash App a couple months back, and that sucked even worse than getting demonetized on YouTube. Because Cash App is peer-to-peer. There's no hand in the pocket, no 10% transaction fee. It's just straight up yours. And that was a kick all the way down my throat, right into the balls. Like, that was hell. And we finally made it back into the green, getting monetized again on YouTube. So it's been a hell of a journey. It's been a hell of a journey. And I remember when I first lost monetization a couple of years back. I was only monetized for a couple of months, and it just went away. Right when I was, you know, hitting my stride, it just went away. And I really didn't understand why, what I had done. I hadn't even begun to grow as provocative as I've become in the last 2 years. And I told myself then, though, if I ever get remonetized, I'm actually going to appreciate it, and I'm going to try to hold on to it, and I'm going to do all the proper things. I'm going to do what it takes to stay in the game, goddammit. And so, you know, I have to read rule books now, have to take coaching, have to, you know, just stay on top of my professionalism. But in doing so, I will not alter the content all that much. I won't completely soften the commentary all that much. I'm probably just going to say less curse words. I'm going to use less profanity. And you know what? I don't even know what else I should do. I'm just going to use less profanity. I don't know. No more cooning. All I know is cooning, bro. I don't know if I can stop cooning. I'm just going to coon acceptably. I need commercialized cooning, you know? Not that bathtub gin cooning that I used to do. I need cooning that I can sell at Macy's. You know what I mean? You know, I like when Sean John got into Macy's, like when Rockaware got into Macy's, it was a big deal. You know, I need to refine my cooning so that I can commoditize it and sell it at bodegas and fine dining establishments. I need to sell this thing everywhere. Shout out to everybody who's donated to the show so far. Let me scroll back up. Let me get a handle on these super chats. I'm new. I haven't got a super chat in so many years. I've forgotten what it feels like. I'm touching the screen right now. I'm literally rubbing my hand over the super chats on the screen right now. It's been so long. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. Shout out to Dolomite with the $2 super chat. Yes, we are back. And I mean, shout out to Dolomite with the $2 super chat. Yes, we are back in business. Appreciate you, bro. My man KM with the 199 top of the top. Yeah, we up early, man. You know, it's my day off, and I actually got other things to do. Go hang out with the kids, go run some errands and whatnot. And if I don't get this out the way early in the morning, it wasn't going to happen. And I'm up early now anyway, so it's like on my days off at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm just up and alert. It's like combat readiness now. I'm just up, ready for shit. I hate it, though. I hate it. I really do. Shout out to KM with the 199. It is top of the top. And I think American Man, I saw American Man in there with the $2 super chat. Wow, oppression starting early. Congrats, bro. Thank you. I think I'm gonna change the name of the channel slightly. This week in oppression simply can't live up to the moniker, so I think I'll shorten it to Daily Oppression with Hoodservative, or Oppression Daily, like a newspaper. One of those two choices, though, Daily Oppression or Oppression Daily with Hoodservative. That's kind of where I'm leaning at right now. I think I want to go in that direction, and keep the oppression theme of the show, because I like that particular angle, because oppression is such a left-wing concept, and I would like to actually play around with it and subvert it a little bit and show how some people really aren't that oppressed, and maybe some other people actually are oppressed, you know? Like this young white boy on the screen, he's clearly been oppressed. They oppressed him until he murdered a girl. That's how hard he was oppressing. He got oppressed so hard he lashed out in violence, right? Stop oppressing the white man before we all be in danger is all I'm saying. Shout out to American Man with the $2 super chat. It feels good to get super chats back. It feels good. Oh my goodness. Even though YouTube's gonna take like 88% of this money, I still like being official. Like, I can file this with my tax return. They can ask, when people ask me, who do I work for? I'm gonna be like, Google, nigga.
I need that money.
I get checks from ABC Company, the ABC Corporation. Who you get your check from? T. Rowe and Price? Pfft. I work for the big dogs. Let me see. What else we got here? Oh, shout out to Free Zone Lou with the 50 ball. Let's go. Let's see how long this lasts. Don't jinx me, bro. Don't jinx me, bro. I'm going to be a good master. Toby going to be a good nigga for master. Watch, you see, Toby's going to be a good nigga for master. Ours cooks, ours cleans, ours carry your bag, sir. Ours going to be a good nigga for master. Don't you jinx me now, Free Zone. You get on up out of here with that jinxing talk now, Free Zone. We's good folk around here. We don't appreciate your jinxy talk around here, all right? Shout out to Free Zone Lou with the big dog 50 ball chat, man. Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls. Break the cycle. Thank you, bro. Break the cycle. $4.99 super chat. Shaming don't work on us, so they have to push a global agenda to emasculate the boys early. We're gonna actually get into that, all right? Because I was goofing around earlier, playing with other apps and whatnot, trying to see if I can expand my skill level. You know, I got to study in my free time. But I told you I would come back with a real show, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to take a slightly different angle. I'm going to parallel two conversations that I think need to be brought together. We should be having these conversations at the same time, because I think one is connected to the other, even as they are parallel, going down the same direction. But shout out to Break the Cycle with the $4.99. IU McCoy with the 5 ball. What up, Hood? Glad to see that boy back up with his monetization. Hey, listen, man, I'm working. I'm working on it. I have a dream. I have a dream that I will be allowed to coon for money on this YouTube platform unmolested. I have a dream. Who getting my dreams back? That's all I want, is my dreams to come true. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the 5 ball. We are not done yet.
I need that money.
We are not done. And who is this? My man Anton with the 5 ball. A waste is a terrible thing to mind. I'm just going to let that one sit in the air like that. A waste is a terrible thing to mind. Yeah. Oh, man. Like I started out telling you guys, thank you all. Thank you to every one of you. I'm only streaming on this channel right now. No Rumble, none of the other YouTube channels. I'm keeping this pure and focused like a laser beam. We're going to treat this channel like the wife you love to death. This is going to be like the woman I never cheat on right here. Going to treat this channel good. I'm going to trick on this channel. I'm going to simp on it. I'm going to do all the things. But now we got to start the show. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't even switch over properly. Uno momento. My bad. Let me now do this. All right, now we can start the show.
So I just finished watching Netflix's Adolescence, that is, of course, currently doing the round and being promoted by everyone in our government and, of course, the media. And it is being embraced by the feminist cohort of our media class as being something akin to a new biblical study or something, as if everyone now has to watch this to understand. And I just finished watching it, as I said, and I mean, it just makes them all look really bad, right? If you actually watch this, you realize that actually they're all the villains of what is happening in Adolescence. Everyone around Jamie has contributed, Jamie being the name of the young boy who killed the young girl, has contributed to him becoming a killer in some way.
This is Sargon of Akkad. He's been doing really great commentary on this particular TV show, Adolescence. Now, if you don't know, the image on screen is a still from the new show on Netflix called Adolescence, and it is an attempt to address what is being called incel terrorism and the rise of misogyny. You know, the young Andrew Tate audience. It's being pushed and promoted as something that gives you an insight into what's going on with young boys, but in fact, it's just a horrible propaganda piece to demonize young white boys, because it's a UK thing, so it's really pertinent to what's going on over there. They're on the one hand, they're addressing a real issue, which is like violence against women and whatnot, but by making the main character of the show a young white male, when the primary violence and the primary threat against the women of the UK isn't really from the young white males, it is intentionally subversive and damaging in and of itself.
And it's a damning indictment of modern Britain, and I don't know if it even means to be. It's such a bizarre thing that when you read through these summaries of each episode, they're kind of accurate, but there are other things about it that aren't really included in the synopsis. And it's just such a peculiar thing to see something that's written so well, actually, and with a surprising amount of finesse, especially as if you go, you can see the Stephen Graham, the writer's perspective on it. We want to look into the eye of modern male rage and examine the influence of Andrew Tate on boys and other public figures. And you look at it and you realize that this isn't really about them. What this is about is some kind of system that everyone seems to hate.
I think the issue with looking at modern male rage is that the people who set themselves up to look at it, or like the people who write this kind of production, even if they were to encounter legitimate causes of the rage, like an actual grievance that is motivating the rage, they never address it honestly. They never look the grievance square in the eye. They always invert the problem as a weakness carried by the men who are responding to what's effectively an attack on them. They don't respect my anger. They don't respect my misogyny, but they want me to cooperate with them. It's a hell of a box they put me in, you know?
Because everyone who's involved in this system seems to really dislike what it is they do. I mean, in the first episode, you have the detective inspector, Luke Bascom, and his assistant, a childless woman called Misha Frank, investigating the murder that Jamie has committed, and they bring him in for questioning, and he goes through a long single shot scene, as they all are, until it gets to the end where they show the CCTV footage of Jamie murdering the girl. And throughout the entire process, you essentially see a kind of ritual humiliation of the family and Jamie before the system.
The system ritually humiliates young men. That is an idea that Sargon is kind of putting out right now in his analysis of what's happening. But I think that is a statement we can actually broaden to a definitive. The statement of the system does seem to ritually humiliate young males, especially when you look at like what's happening with the transitioning issue, and they want to transition young children, young boys mostly. It does seem like the humiliation rituals are going from covert to overt.
Like at one point, Jamie is strip searched because the suspicion, heavy suspicion is placed on this, that Jamie's father has somehow abused him. Whereas Jamie's father is shown to be nothing but an upstanding man who shows his son. We get to see him showing him plenty of love and affection.
Now, note that. So the boy who is he is enraged. And remember when I said they don't really respect your anger and the fact that you have legitimate grievances. So this boy who's enraged to the point of violence, apparently, they assume, well, it's because your dad diddied you. Your dad raised you in a house full of diddy parties, right? It has to be that, right?
And trusts him. When Jamie says, I didn't do it, he says, right, well, that's okay then, son. Then, you've got nothing to fear, which is how I would have responded were this my son. I would have taken him at his word. And when it turns out, when you see the stabbing, it's Eddie, his father, who it's a harrowing scene. It's a difficult thing to watch. But what happens up until then? Well, you have the cold, emotionless, and frankly difficult to deal with system where everyone seems to be acting like a prisoner of it, going along until eventually, after all of the humiliation and all of the abstractness of the system is applied, you finally get Jamie and Eddie left alone together. And there's a difficult moment to watch between the father and son. And so in episode 2, as it says, Bascom and Frank visit the secondary school to try and find out more. And what's strange about this is that the students are deeply uncooperative with the police. Especially there's Jade, who's an African immigrant, it seems, who's best friends with Katie, the girl who's murdered. And she seems to genuinely hate the police and seems to blame them or something like that. And that's
now this is where the content, the narrative that they put in the show, it all starts to almost subvert itself.
Very difficult thing for them to understand. And she then goes and beats up literally beats up Ryan, Jamie's friend. Now, I mean,
a black girl in this movie is a violent bully who beats up the boys that are being called incels and deficient in some way. How is it that these boys who are so violent and deficient get beat up by a little black girl? How can this be?
And she then goes and beats up literally beats up Ryan, Jamie's friend. Now, I mean, it's one thing being like, okay, well, it's a teenage girl beating up a teenage boy like she's some MMA fighter. Probably not something that's ever really happened. But the point is, why is she doing this? Right? And it turns out that the girl that was stabbed, Katie, had been orchestrating a cyberbullying campaign against Jamie, the boy who stabbed her, on the basis that she is calling into question his dignity as a man by calling him an incel. campaign against Jamie, the boy who stabbed her, on the basis that she is calling into question his dignity as a man by calling him an incel.
No, I don't know what that is. What is it?
It's the involuntary celibate stuff. It's the Andrew Tate shite.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
I've heard the boys talking about him. No, I don't know what that is. What is it?
You remember what was his name? Elliot Roger. I guess he was the incel terrorist. You know, he was the shooter. He was the OG incel. And ever since that incident, they've kind of been running wild with this incel fear thing, and it's finally reached the point where they have a huge narrative, a huge narrative-driven media, a piece of media that they can. They're using this in the UK as if it's like an official study. They're taking this work of fiction and using it to signal action on a cause that is essentially fabricated, because this girl was in fact bullying the boy and attacking him on what's a deeply personal level, mind you. And he lashes out in violence, and so now he's the only problem here. And I want to jump now to my man Whitlock.
People have been tossing the word incel around for, it seems like 2, 3, 4 years. I've never fully understood it. I knew it was something about kids or young or people, men who can't get laid, but I did not know the incel means involuntary celibacy. I had never heard that until this.
Isn't everyone in middle school involuntarily or celibate in one way or another? I mean, that should be a rule of thumb when you're all in like middle school. These aren't even high school age kids yet. It's one thing when they're in high school, you know, 1 or 2 of the kids maybe, but when you're in middle school, like no. Calling middle school kids incels is a bridge too far. You're gone too far, Biggs.
Documentaries, and I was like, oh, that's what incel means and where it comes from.
Oh, and shout out to my man Clay Bisbee with the $5 super chat. Yeah. He says, don't be going all Hollywood because you in the super chats game now. Nigga, I'm back in the game, right? I am back in. I had to come back under a whole new alias with another channel. I still can't even get my main channel cooked up, man. I got to build this channel up from scratch here. I only got 1,200 people on this channel. We got to build it up, though. But we back, though. We back, man. I needed to get back. I needed my shit, man.
We need our weed. I don't wear it, but we need it.
Involuntary celibacy. And as his son, the cop's son, unpacks it, and they're saying that the girl who was the victim of this murder had taunted the killer by calling him an incel. And I heard this and I was like, so a 13-year-old is, I believe that's 7th grade, is being taunted as an incel and being ridiculed for not being sexually active. And I thought to myself, like, I remember being 13. And there was an innocence at age 13. There wasn't, you weren't looked at like.
You know, I wonder how, if you were to take like a survey, I wonder if like black kids in the ghetto lose their virginity earlier than like white kids in the suburbs. or even black kids in the suburbs. I bet you there's an interesting conversation to be had about that kind of thing.
Like you haven't had sex yet and you're 13. No one thought this way when I was a kid. And yes, I'm old. But when I talk about robbing the innocence of young people, this is what I'm talking about. We forced a sexual conversation and sexual decision making on young people. And yes, the social media apps and the internet have driven a bit of this conversation. But this finger pointing at Andrew Tate, and I'm not saying Andrew Tate is a force for good, but when I'm sitting here like, well, hold on, we got a serious problem going on with young men globally.
We do have a serious problem going on with young men. I'm not even trying to get all globally. I'm just going to focus on America right now, but I imagine this is happening across the Western world. I bet if I were to look, because I've seen little signals that it is happening, there is an issue that is on the other side of this calling young boys incels problem that no one is really connecting yet. And this is why we're here at the soon-to-be renamed Daily Oppression with the Hoodservative. We're talking about the things that people don't talk about.
A very serious problem. And young men are less interested in dating. Young men are more withdrawn. Young men are frustrated and confused. Young men are different. But Andrew Tate, we got a 4-part series that basically says Andrew Tate is the driving force of this, and that the manosphere is the driving force of this, and that online influencers are the driving force of this. Are you kidding me?
You know, when you say it's online influencers, you know, now I feel like you kind of took a shot. That went like right past my ear, like Trump. That shot just buzzed me. Like, what you mean online influencers? Like, if you're going to blame me, if you're going to try to blame me for, you know, what's going on with young boys, let me direct your attention to another possibility. All right, if we're going to have a conversation about young boys, and young boys, especially forcing, you know, 13-year-old boys into the world of sexual conversations and decision making, if we're going to call young teenage boys incels, right? I'll accept. You know what? Think of it like poker. I will see your Andrew Tate and raise you a handful of horny teachers.
New tonight, more teenage students in Morgan County are now coming forward, and they're accusing a former teacher of sexual misconduct with a minor. Ashton Hackman is in Morgan County to explain why the prosecutors are now looking to bring even more charges against this woman.
31-year-old Brittany Fortenberry has been held here at the Morgan County Jail since her arrest last month on charges of sexual misconduct with a minor. Since then, 5 new victims have come forward with additional allegations. Prosecutor.
Who is really more threatening? Who's really damaging the young boys? Andrew Tate or the teachers organizing gangbangs wearing scream masks, right? Who's really, really damaging the young boys? Since you want to put blame on things, since you want to blame me for stuff, I'm like, listen, I will put up a good defense. Don't blame me. I know who did it.
Have asked to file up to 24 additional criminal charges against her, including 10 counts of child molesting, sexual misconduct with a minor, and 13 other charges for disseminating material harmful to minors and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Court documents say all of the teens reported Fortenberry would send them nude and explicit photos and videos on Snapchat.
Oh, but it's wrong when Tate says you got to lift weights and get jacked and make money. He's the bad guy, all right? He's the bad guy. He is on the internet committing crimes, right? But hot for teacher over here.
And forced them to have group sex at her Martinsville home. A child victim advocate says it's important for parents to feel comfortable having difficult conversations with their children.
And what we just encourage is that parents kind of ask that open-ended question, and they give their children a chance to speak, and then they praise their courage at that time rather than asking them questions about what they did or why they didn't tell. The last thing that we want is a child to feel blame or shame as a result of making a disclosure.
Yeah, I know why them boys didn't tell. Anyway, I just think it's weird that at the same time we're accusing online content creators of somehow corrupting the minds of little young innocent males out there, how we are somehow leading young innocent males down a path of deviancy and just all around dysfunction. At the same time, we have all these teachers. We have just not even like fat, frumpy, ugly teachers, like cute cheerleader teachers out here just I can't even say the words because I don't want to lose my monetization.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Officer Guzman with Downers Grove. Do you have your license on you?
Tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain. I'm sure you're confused. I'll explain everything to you. You're Christina?
Yes.
Okay, Christina, do me a favor. Can you step out of the car for me? I know you're confused. I'll explain everything to you. You don't have anything on you? You can just grab whatever you need.
Whatever I need.
Yeah, whatever you need. Like your phone, your purse, go ahead and grab it.
Is she going somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna explain everything to you guys. Go ahead and grab it. We're not going anywhere right now. Of course, yeah.
I don't understand what's going
on. And a little station information here. We should have stickers and memberships should be available shortly. I'm working it out right now, but we should be able to get channel memberships going. We will have exclusive content for members. You know how that goes. A decent amount of these live streams will be put behind the paywall at some point in the future. So you might want to join. Membership has privileges.
on here?
I get it, yeah. You can go grab your things.
Can he come with me?
Yes. You stay there right for right now, sir. Just stay there, but yes, you can. But come on back here.
Should I shut the car off?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Goes off. Okay. Let's right back over here. So we do have an investigation going on. We have to talk to you about it at the police department, okay? So we're going to explain everything to you there. It's not my investigation. I don't know the full details. We do have to bring you there, though, okay? So I do have to put you in handcuffs and bring you to the police department. Just a Downers Grove.
Handcuffs?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
I'm like willing to go with you.
I get it, yeah. Unfortunately, we have to do it that way.
Did you handcuff that boy? Did you handcuff one of your students? I mean, don't act like you're not familiar with handcuffs all of a sudden. You know, I'm just saying, I bet you own a pair of handcuffs. You look like the type of chick to own their own handcuffs. They're probably pink.
Do me a favor, we just take this off.
Can I ask you
Of course, yeah. It's not, like I said, it's not my investigation. Obviously, we're here for a reason. So go ahead and turn around for me. So right now you're being detained, and there is a detective that needs to talk to you at the police department. So we'll let your husband know. No, he can just come to the police department as well if he wants to wait for you there.
I'm like,
I get it. You have a lot of questions.
So scared.
Yeah, everything's okay. We just need to talk to you at the police department. That's all. Nothing else on your pocket right now? Anything else?
My phone.
Just your phone? Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to sit in the back of this car. On the other side, once you get to the police department, you'll talk to the detective and he'll explain everything to you.
But you can't even give me like an idea
At the moment,
what this is about.
Other than that, it's an investigation. That's all I can really tell you right now. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more.
Excuse me, is my husband coming with?
Yeah. He's taking his phone number down. We're staying in touch with him. We're just going to Downers Grove, so 10 minutes away.
You know, it's crazy too. And you always have like the media circus, like when Bill Clinton had his affair and Hillary had to literally stand by your man. You know that old song? and it's a common thing. You know, Andrew Gillum, he got caught in the hotel with like a gay prostitute, like a gay male prostitute, and like drugs or whatever, and he was passed out. Probably had a little, not an OD. He just took too many drugs, right? And he was kind of passed out, throwing up or whatever. And he's still married. His wife stood by her man. And I'm just like, imagine your wife is a teacher and she gets arrested for like having a rendezvous with the football team. And you get the phone call. So we caught your wife in the locker room. Yeah. Nobody had any clothes on. Yeah. It was bad. It was really bad. You should come down here and pick her up.
What?
No, I know, but I really would prefer that my husband's with me.
Of course.
Am I in trouble? Like I'm so lost right now.
I'm sure you are. Like I said, I can't answer any questions right now. I just tell you that right now you're being detained.
She's new to this, obviously, but damn, she's actually kind of cute. But when you're in handcuffs in the back of the police car and you're driving away, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. Like literally, you're in the car and the car is moving. This is trouble and you're in it.
For an investigation, and we'll bring you in the police department. And once you get there, they're going to fill you in on everything.
I'm just going to put your seatbelt on, right? Unless are you able to reach it down there? Sure you don't want a tissue or something?
I'm feeling I'm gonna throw up.
A bag?
Yes, please.
Alright. Shauna, can you grab like a bag out of there? Hey, can you get like a bag just in case she gets nauseous? Yeah. I don't know, do we have any of those MSS bags like laying around the box? I figure it's something better than nothing.
I feel like we need a little bit of music for this moment.
Or here, if you stay with her, I'll go grab it.
What the fuck?
Just kind of put it on the floor here, alright?
Okay.
A few paper towels on the floor here if needed, alright?
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. What's up? How's the burger for his birthday?
She was accused of having an improper relationship with a student in Louisville ISD. Grapevine police officers arrested Eleni Simonson. We've learned the alleged crimes took place in 2022 and 23 while she worked at Kilo High School. The district says that's the only school where Simonson worked, and she resigned in February of last year. Investigators tell us it involved one student and don't believe there are other victims as of now. She was accused of having an
Former Monterey County teacher has been accused of having a sexual relationship with a student. Monterey County Sheriff's Office arrested 25-year-old Nika Yoneda, a Woodland High School teacher. She worked there and taught English. Deputies say Yoneda is suspected of having a sexual relationship with a male student at North Monterey County High School. She worked at the high school from 2022 to 2023. She is currently being held on $1.5 million bail. Former Monterey County teacher has been accused of having a
under arrest at the moment on suspicion of sexual activity with a child. You didn't have to say anything, but it may hang if you do not mention the question, which is live in court.
This is the moment disgraced teacher Rebecca Joins asks, "Are you serious?" as she's arrested for sleeping with 2 teen pupils. The disgraced teacher also had a baby with one of the teens while on bail. Rebecca Joins, aged 30, preyed on the 2 boys in her maths class before striking up relationships with both of them. The predator groomed one boy, aged 15, with a £345 Gucci belt bought at Selfridges in the Trafford Centre. Laughing Joins even told,
She bought a Gucci. Oh, you can get Gucci now? I didn't know teachers. How much money are teachers making? They buying Gucci? Damn. Damn. You know, I'm rethinking my entire teenage years now. I was wasting all my time with high school girls. I should have been aiming at lonely teachers. Could have got me a Gucci belt. Need me a Gucci belt?
told him to shut up when he mentioned his age before sleeping with him twice at her Salford flat. Despite begging the boy not to say anything, he sent a photo to his pals of the teacher lying down as proof they slept together. The following day, his distraught mum received a call from the school saying an allegation had been made. She also had sex with a 16-year-old boy on 30 different occasions before having a baby with him. Joins has now been convicted of 4 counts of engaging in sexual activity with a child, including 2 while being a person in a position of trust.
Miss Karen, there's nothing to see here. There's no one that wants to speak with you.
This unidentified man pulled up to the home while we were there. A short time later, another woman appeared from the home after we'd already left.
Do you want to talk to us?
No, I don't. I want you to leave.
You came outside. Please, I'm willing to talk to you.
Authorities say the abuse began when the victim was 11 years old. According to the criminal complaint, a few years later, Karen gave birth to the victim's baby.
11? 11. Oh my God, 11 years old. Listen, man, I don't think I can say with 100% certainty, I would take this bet every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Andrew Tate has not had a baby with an 11-year-old. He may have done all kind of horrible things, but I know having a baby with an 11-year-old, they would have crucified him for that. He wouldn't have made it out for that. That's a hell of a teaching arrangement, isn't it, Free? That is wild.
Karen taught at Middle Township Elementary No. 2, and the victim was once her student. Prosecutors say Karen and the victim's family became friends, leading to the victim and his siblings staying overnight with Karen once or twice a week.
She befriended the family. She befriended the family. How do you do that? Coming there, chatting it up with Mom Dukes. Probably flirted with the dad once or twice to make him feel good. Oh, she came in there and flirted with the family. Oh no, she was devious with it.
But at some point, they began living with Karen permanently. Investigators say the case.
Then she just took the kids. Hold on, wait a minute.
And the victim was once her student. Prosecutors say Karen and the victim's family became friends, leading to the victim and his siblings staying overnight with Karen once or twice a week. But at some point, they began living with Karen permanently.
Whoa, what kind of, I feel like everybody should go to jail here. 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 Everybody sho I think this is a situation where all the adults involved need to be in jail. Everybody involved, hell, maybe even a couple of aunts and uncles too. Everybody involved needs to go away for a good amount of time now.
Investigators say the case came to light last month when the victim's father posted on social media saying Karen's 5-year-old child looked very similar to him and his son. Neighbors say the arrest Wednesday appeared discreet. This woman said she saw multiple black SUVs but didn't realize they were police.
They try to do it on a hush-hush. These teachers be out here wilding. Everybody want to talk about your boy Tate, man. No, we need to talk about these teachers.
Right now, a local substitute teacher is in custody, charged with child abuse. I'm Ben Becker.
I'm Emily Turner. According to a report, Janine White intentionally grabbed a student and, quote, pulled him ferociously, causing him to hit his head on a desk. Action News Jack's Alexis Clevenger is live outside the Duval County Jail. And Alexis, this all started when White allegedly encouraged students to fight with the victim.
And according to the arrest report, White encouraged 4 kids to batter the victim. Then after the fight, White allegedly pushed the victim, which caused him to hit his head on a desk.
Janine White, a now former substitute teacher who was responsible to maintain discipline and order in the classroom, is now behind bars. According to the arrest report, White was subbing on February 12th and asked a student to get into a small group. Allegedly, that student refused and her frustration grew. The report said she then asked the class, quote, "Who in here can beat him up?" And 4 kids raised their hands. She called them.
That's mean. Oh, wow. Yo, that is straight out of prison. That is straight out of prison. And then they wonder why the boys growing up to be all kind of misogynies and whatnot.
I hit a woman for the first time in my life, and I'm having fun.
Them out one by one to fight the victim as she watched. Police class accused and her frustration grew. The report said she then asked the class, quote, "Who in here can beat him up?" And 4 kids raised their hands. She called them out one by one to fight the victim as she watched. Police say the kids hit the victim multiple times on his head and throughout his body, and she then pushed him, causing him to hit a desk. According to the report, when the fights were done, Janine grabbed the student, quote, by the collar of his shirt and dragged him. White allegedly denied her involvement in the incident and advised that she only tried to pick the victim up from the ground following 2 separate fights that occurred in the class.
Dolomite says they are violent and horny. How are children supposed to stay focused in an environment with teachers like that? And they wonder why the education department gotta go. Yeah. They are violent and horny. Violent and horny is that is a nasty combination. In a man or a woman. You know, in a man, we obviously understand why that's a bad thing. But in women, you see, women can't really do that. They can't get their violent, horny urges out on men. So they have to actually prey on children with their violent, horny urges. And it looks crazy when you see it actually playing out.
Now, White is also facing charges of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. It's still unclear which school White was working in when the incident happened. If we learn any new information on this, we will update you. For local coverage, you can count on Alexis Clevenger, Action News Jack.
I know it's going to rattle the community, and especially it being a private Christian school.
Bonnie Brown, a former teacher and student at Nathaniel Green Academy, even crowned homecoming queen in 2016, now accused of having sex with one of her students.
There was physical contact at the school, and then there was also physical contact contact outside the school.
Attorney Ashley Mitchell is representing the victim.
He was a direct student of these two women.
Mitchell referring to Sherry Malden, the second former teacher at NGA, arrested on Monday, charged with aggravated child molestation and statutory rape.
There is information to suggest that potentially other teachers may have been involved with other victims.
The GBI says the Greene County Sheriff's Office asked them to investigate in 2024.
Teachers are mandated reporters. It doesn't matter if you're in a private school or a charter school or a public school. If you have a reasonable suspicion that this kind of contact has occurred, then you have an obligation to report it to the authorities.
In this case,
it doesn't seem that the information made its way to law enforcement from administration.
I reached out several times since Friday asking this specific question. NGA has yet to respond, releasing a blanket statement Monday night saying in part, quote, while being careful not to interfere with law enforcement's investigation, NGA's administration and board of trustees are conducting their own investigation to determine any and all appropriate measures which need to be taken by the school.
My understanding is that one of the individual teachers that was recently arrested, she had actually been written up for inappropriate conduct with the student and this victim.
Yeah. But Tate, the boys, misogyny. We got to do something about these boys. They're going to be mean misogyny people when they grow up. Amazing.
I'm joined now by adolescence writer Jack Thorne. Look, Jack, you've just come from inside with your meeting with Sir Keir Starmer. How was it?
It was really brilliant, and the brilliant thing was that it wasn't about us. It was about facilitating conversations with charities and youth groups that really understand what's going on, and hearing them speak. It was just so inspirational, and I hope a solution can be found as a community to this problem.
I mean, that is the thing. The show has taken on just a life of its own, hasn't it? And I wondered whether there was a danger in your eyes of politicians sort of piggybacking off the popularity of it. Do you feel like it's sort of heartfelt, some of the conversations?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing. You know, if it was about our show, you know, our fictional show, then we'd have a problem. But it's not. It's about other people expressing being given the opportunity to have conversations that they haven't had before and that they should have had, and that might lead to policy change and things being made better for our young people.
Is that the
So in the UK, they want to use this made-up, fictionalized TV show to attack basically a made-up, fictionalized issue with, you know, misogyny and young boys. I don't think the problem with young boys is misogyny. I would make an argument that there's something else preying on young boys, and it's nothing. We always have to focus on, you know, how boys are supposed to treat girls and misogyny, and boys got to respect girls. And, you know, we had this conversation the other day, a couple streams ago. What do women owe men? And I don't think really many people can even approach the question, let alone have an answer to it, like as if women should owe men anything. And this is a recurring theme everywhere. It's always about how the men should treat the women. It's always about how the men must serve the women. How can the men better protect the women? There is nothing reciprocal about this relationship anymore. How can you even call this anything like equality when you only pressure one side to behave well? This is what I was talking about the other day. Only men have obligations. Women have an ever-growing list of privilege. They just have privileges stacked on top of each other, a giant chain of privileges, while men have obligations to uphold female privilege. Hey, American Man with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys supporting the show, by the way. We are newly remonetized, working on getting memberships going. Just got approval for it, but I'm not seeing any options for it yet. We're going to work on that though. But yeah, we are getting remonetized, boys. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Shout out to American Man. Appreciate you guys sticking around with me over the years.
I need that money.
lot of people are concerned that the Prime Minister has got on board with this drama.
Oh yeah, he says this is really to stop men from walking away. I don't know if it's about walking away. I mean, you could argue that, but I think really they want to lock men in. It's not even just to stop them from walking away. They need men to agree with their servitude. You know, it's not a prison if you want to be there. And that's the effect that's the attempt that's being made right now. It's a foolish, stupid attempt, but that's the overall attempt to try to lure men into a place of comfort with servitude and imprisonment. And I think that's really what the show like Adolescence is about. It's to kind of, it's to trap you. It's to trap you mentally. It's to seduce your mind into wanting to be under the high heel stiletto of a woman. All young boys incels, don't be surprised when they grow up to hate you and they don't want to participate in your little girly tea party. They really want to cuck the young boys badly. And notice there is never, ever, ever any attention given to the female side of the equation. So women get to exist in this state of just unlimited power effectively, while the young men, they are forced to endure constant manipulations and criticisms and adjustments and whatnot. Don't be surprised when they fall back and don't want to play anymore. And shout out to the Clue Studio with the $10 Rumble chat. I didn't see this. Congrats, bro. Thank you. I've been trying my best to be a good I'll be a good nigga for Master. That's all I've been trying to do is, Toby, be a good nigga for Master, man.
We need our weed. I don't wear it, but we need it.
Toby need his stuff, man. Toby need his Master, man.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls.
I really don't like this black guy on the screen. I just hate everything about him. I just wanted to say that out loud. And so we don't need a structured intervention, gay adjacent woke nigga. We don't need that. What you need is to, you know what? This is who you should listen to, gay adjacent woke nigga.
Or perhaps you're living there now. That matriarchal, controlled environment where men have been completely emasculated and they're henpicked. It's the most violent, unsafe place in America.
Yo, UK Signifier is crazy. I just watched a video from FD Signifier the other day, and I wanted to kind of review that. And actually, you know what? All of a sudden, I do have a little bit of time. We might actually come back and do another stream later today. I think I might review some FD Signifier work. Now that we're all professional, like and monetized over here, we're gonna start doing other things. We're gonna get really fun over here now. But safe like.
And you can't wait to escape it. You sit around and fantasize. Man, I can't wait till I get enough money that I can move out into one of them white neighborhoods where white people are still married and I can get some peace and quiet and I can go to sleep at night without worrying about getting robbed or killed. But you want to cosplay as a racist so that your woman will be happy with you and give you some from time to time.
Yo, Jason Whitlock called it out, hit it right. He hit the nail squarely on the head. Just bam. You can't get any more on point than that. That is the entirety of the the men of the Democrat left, the black men of the Democrat left, you have eyes. You know what's going on. It's like the Umar Johnson thing. You tell everybody that you out here, you warring against white supremacy. You trying to fight this white man's wicked system, even though the system done educated you, clothed you, fed you, let you talk your shit. The system has been fair to you, but you look your woman in the eye because, you know, she doesn't want to be held responsible for her backstabbery. You look your woman in the eye and tell her that knife in the back, that was the white man's knife. Even though she put that knife in your back, even though she's the reason why you have the most grief in your life. She's the cause of the most problems. She's the reason why you can't be the king of your castle, raise your children as you see fit. It's her who gets in the way of those dreams, but you will look her in the eye and tell her, you know, the white man is holding us back, holding me back. The white man is the reason why you can't love me properly, and we're going to fix that. And that's where you niggas go wrong, and you stuck in that forever. And Whitlock just called it out beautifully.
You want to cosplay as a racist so that your woman will be happy with you and give you some from time to time. You'd rather lie to yourself so you can continue to sleep with that woman who's controlling you rather than stand up and be a man and demand better. And you fear your woman more than you fear God. And I'm sorry for saying it, but it's just facts.
You fear your woman more than you fear God. I would actually take it further. They do fear God. They absolutely fear God.
But if man had to find out that his God was a woman,
I say the black woman is God, and
black woman is God.
I say the black woman is God.
The black woman is God because, you know, she was the first organism on this planet.
A lot of people seem to not understand me.
Science proves that the black woman is God. We're not just saying that.
And the black and Latino woman, they manifested themselves out of dark matter energy. All right.
I believe the black woman is God.
Black woman, God. I don't believe God, no man. I believe God, a black woman.
The black woman is God.
But my number one subject matter is the black woman is God. That's first and foremost.
Black woman is God.
the black woman is still God.
You're God, black woman.
The black woman is God. She is the creator. She is the sustainer. She is the provider. She is the first teacher of the children. She is everything to the black race.
But don't get it wrong. I am still a white man.
How about that? How about them black women's is? But yeah, I just think that all this this talk about Tate and this new show that he's put out, it's missing the point. It's intentionally missing the point. There are a lot of things that are going wrong with young boys right now, and I think you should look at the people who have the closest influence, and the teachers and the parents. You know, it's mostly the chicks, bro. Between the single moms and the woman-dominated school system, I don't think Tate is the problem. They're looking to guys like Tate for freedom, because you just don't have a masculine projection from a lot of the men of the left. Which brings me to your boy FD Signifier. I actually watched some of this video the other day, and let's jump right into it.
More of my videos, and that you'll probably watch them too, which is good for my channel overall. So that part's pretty straightforward. The other videos you'll see are, again, videos from larger white lefty channels, Hassan, Big Joe, Philosophy Tube, etc. But then with my black videos, I start seeing other black political.
Free Zone, no. Free Zone asked if you men are saying they don't want to deal with women because of feminism in the modern climate. Is that not by definition inceldom? The word incel is involuntary. If you're choosing to abstain, then that's voluntary. Then you have nothing to complain about from that angle. So it's not inceldom if it's a voluntary abstention.
Political content that I have to say, I don't think is very good. Some of it is fine. There's like this video of an old news piece on James Baldwin that for whatever reason has over 3.5 million views on a small channel 3 years ago. There's another short video from Fred Hampton from around the same time. These are fine. Considering the topic areas, it makes sense that viewers of these videos would also watch my video and vice versa. And YouTube's algorithm is doing a good job of making this logical connection. Cool. But then there's what I'm going to call Hotep slop channels, one of which will be the only channel I mention by name as I get more and more shady going on. So just, you know.
There's something I do think I may agree with him from a different angle, obviously, though. There isn't that much good black political content on YouTube. There's a lot of black political content, and it's mostly left-leaning, so that's probably why.
If you're looking for drama, you're not going to find it here. There's this channel called Black Culture Unlocked, and it clearly is mostly AI-generated slop. Like when you look at the channel, you can kind of tell the thumbnails all use that drama slop technique in terms of like what they look like. Other thumbnails are using clear bad AI art. They really love the phrase hidden truth, like it's on every third thumbnail on their channel. And then the content itself is Hotep core, although it's almost always an AI generated voice. I don't know what voice is real on this channel. It's clearly like they're regurgitating.
Yeah, he spends most of this video kind of shitting on left-wing content creators. It's funny, actually.
55 comments down, talking shit, doing all kinds of weird stuff. So the less contact my channel has with theirs, the better overall. I don't need these problems. But there is a more important population that I kind of want access to, also in this list of black people videos that also watch my videos. The problem is I have to figure out how to get them, and I kind of don't feel good about what that might mean. So along with the Hotep core content, right, you'll see what I call niggas can't get right content. This is content often done by people I won't outright call black conservative grifters, because some of them I don't think are, but some of them definitely are. They're also.
Now, if you hear what FD's saying, he wants to kind of penetrate the sort of nominal rightward leaning black audience that the black conservative grifters, you know, like myself, that we tap into. This nigga want to grift off my grift.
It's Uncle Remus spinning his warm, funny stories.
Like, the marriage has been hijacked by fucking entertainers, conservative entertainers, by the way.
This nigga want to jump in my lane, bro.
So often made by younger black people, and that's why I'm trying to give grace, because I do think a lot of these young folks just feel apart from what black media often promotes as blackness back to them. They are embarrassed and angry about how black people are depicted, and they don't like how they're treated and perceived. So they're slowly encroaching into Candace Owens, Thomas Sowell areas of thinking, where they lash out explicitly at black people and black culture as the core of black people's problems, and not the bigger systemic stuff that they're low-key scared or maybe don't even understand that they need to talk about.
Yeah, bro, he really trying to tap into the lane over here. Like, fall back. You got 1 million plus people on your channel, bro. Why you trying to tap into this little niche market? Get out of here. We don't even like you like that. Your dreadlocks too long. We don't even respect your look.
So instead, they make videos complaining about Sexy Red and balloon pop videos. It's real, I'm not like other black people, I'm one of the good ones type energy, right? Like I guarantee that most of them are suburban black kids who have had to face the consequences of these types of stereotypes regularly in their daily lives in ways that are maybe unfamiliar to other black folks who grew up in black communities. And they have become very bitter about this.
Now, that is absolutely right, Dolomite, because it means you got to speak against God in order for him to properly engage with this level of the internet, with this type of listener who enjoys this type of content, you would have to engage with the black female critiques at some point. And an FD signifier, he will always fold on that level. We've had FD. I think I've spoken to FD signifier. I may have actually spoken to him once back in the day when we were on Bernard's channel, but he will always fold in favor of the black female audience.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes. I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make. Sorry.
So on the one hand, he doesn't really like this audience, mind you, but he feels compelled to actually go after this audience for whatever reason. I think it's a little bit phony, but whatever.
I've touched on this in a few pieces of content, including the aforementioned Bamboozled video if you want to watch. I can't remember where I got the phrase flying the milk from, but I often call it the flying the milk experience, because to me, that's often what produces this sentiment. When you are the only black child surrounded by other white children, that can be a very traumatic and like self-deluding experience that produces a lot of self-hatred that if you aren't around other black people, it's hard to get rid of. And then when you get around other black people, they smell that on you. They low-key don't want you around. Because
now he's making this this kind of critique that people who do content critiquing absurd black behavior, you know, random acts of blackness, like I like to call it, you only make that kind of critique because you operate as something of an outsider in the black community. You either grew up around a bunch of white folk, or you didn't really grow up around, you know, black culture in that way or whatever. And I think there's something he just can't really come to grips with. I am of the culture in and out. I've seen the tops and bottom. I've seen the ghetto. I've seen the suburbs and the middle class, big houses and all that. And there's a problem there. You don't have to be an outsider to notice it. Honestly, I think I can describe it a lot better because I've kind of walked on both sides of the fence in a lot of ways.
Because they smell the anti-blackness. It's really a lose-lose situation for them, which is why I try to hold space, because I also feel like a lot of these people, again, the ones who are young, can make it out of that space if given the right resources and opportunities.
You know, it's so funny you say that. He does have what I call prey eyes. They're kind of like soft and far apart. They're wide focused or whatever, because you're always on the lookout for a predator. You know, predator eyes tend to be harder, a little bit narrow, have a harsher look to them. They're more focused because you're locking in on your prey. Kind of got a little anger behind the pupils there. He's definitely got those soft, doughy prey eyes, like Bambi's dad.
Opportunity. However, the success of these videos amongst what I assume is a black audience is kind of concerning, and the problem with this ideology. We don't and have never been in control of our own images, and for generations now, certain images of black culture have always been the most prominently promoted, partly because they're the most rewarded. And then for young black people, especially, who don't really have a good lens for political analysis and understanding how these things work,
you see, the young black people don't have a good lens for political analysis, right? And that is where he wants to come in and attempt to pervert what would be otherwise my kind of audience, right? The culturally disgruntled black person who you grew up of the culture, you know what it is to be black. You don't question yourself and your own blackness. However, there are questions about the negative qualities that also is a part of blackness. Like there are social dysfunctions that are deeply interwoven into what's called blackness. And if you question that, then you become something on the outside. And now there's this assumption that you have to have all this deep political knowledge to properly understand what you're looking at. You don't need deep political knowledge to know something is wrong. You need deep political knowledge to understand why, maybe, but that's not even a political conversation. That's a historical, social conversation. But What he wants to do, and I can see the move here is, I want to put the sort of university level indoctrination theorizing that he went through in front of this new audience that probably just went totally around his university indoctrination, right? Because we're talking about like the young, the 18 to 25 crowd on YouTube right now.
It's easier for them to lash out at other Black people who are touchable and, you know, directly in their faces than to lash out at the larger, more prominent system of white supremacy that influences this behavior.
Right. It's always the focus on white supremacy, never the internal focus. And this is actually a critical problem. Like, imagine having a friend who never does an internal revenue. I mean, an internal check, right? You never hold yourself accountable. You never actually examine yourself and try to figure out what's wrong with you and why you're not living up to standards and why you can't meet goals and deadlines, right? Imagine what it's like to have a friend who can never blame themselves for the things that they go through. That friend would probably be Black too. That would probably be your Black friend, honestly, now that I say that out loud, right? It's crazy. But that's kind of the perpetual situation for Black America, is we're never allowed nor encouraged to do self-critique. All self-critique is blocked because it has to be redirected and diverted back toward criticism of the white man and white supremacy and, you know, the dominant society, as some people call it.
But I won't get too far into that. Pill Boy, I'll leave a video of his in the description that really gets into this. All that said, while I find it concerning and frustrating that this is who I share parts of my Black audience with, it's probably a good thing that they might be exposed to the opposite of what this content suggests. I don't want this video to have people think that there's an absence of Black content creators or Black people watching.
What is the opposite of the content, though? You're going to do like some cornbread tube propaganda stuff?
YouTube content. That's just not true. There's just not a huge breadth of Black political content creators, at least not ones at a higher level. But there's plenty of Black people with large channels doing other types of content.
Now, I think he's right in that, and I suppose that's something I would like to pursue. I want to grow immensely, but I haven't found a lot of Black political commentators who do long form content like FD Signifier. And as much as I don't like him from a political standpoint, I appreciate the work that he puts forward. Like, the videos are well produced, they're very stylish, and he has a body of knowledge. Whether or not I agree with his facts and his argumentation, he puts it together well. And I think that's what's missing from the Black right wing, is well done, long form political content. I see like one channel that kind of does that. Chad Jackson, something like that. I know he does that show with like is that lady? I forget her name. It's a Black woman, and it's Teach 'em Chuck.
The other day, I rediscovered a creator named Corporate, who I remember blowing up on Facebook probably in like the late 2010s. That's from Chicago. Corporate makes comedic and dramatic hood stories as well as independent music in Chicago. And he has over 2.7 million subscribers and releases 30-minute long videos, which is not short, every few months that all do pretty well. There's also a ton of streamers posting their highlights on YouTube and getting plenty of views. Then there's the world of hair and skincare for Black women creators, and that remains robust. And I think Black women political creators have a lot less of a problem than, you know, Black male creators, to be honest.
Yeah, Black female content always hits the ground running. It's the Black male content that has to kind of fight out of the dirt to get a little bit of notice. It is what it is. Women just are more popular in the media.
Black media consumption is a unique thing, and it can't be easily predicted or explained all the time. But I do think there's some interesting stuff to think about or learn from, at least what I'm seeing based on my own analytics, which again may not be the same for you. So the first lesson I want other Black creators to take away is don't beat yourself up about missing a Black audience. If you are successful on this platform, if you have a large audience on this platform and you're not doing certain genres, you're probably going to get a large white audience in the process. There's certain genres and styles of media that are popular with Black people and white people. If you're successful, the sheer mathematics of it all means you will probably have a predominantly white audience. Shows like Atlanta and The Wire and Insecure are very much Black shows that don't do a whole lot to pander to a white audience.
This is actually something else I just realized too. I'm pretty much done with him now, but there's actually a dearth of right-wing Black content. And honestly, I'm not even sure what that would look like outside of like some kind of wholesome family show. Like, what would right-wing Black content typically consist of? I think maybe that's something worth exploring too. And you know what? While we have a moment here, we're gonna wrap this one up pretty soon. We might come back later on this afternoon. It looks like I do have time for a show later. But while we're here to celebrate our inaugural run of this week in oppression, or Oppression Daily. I think I'm gonna go with Oppression Daily. I don't know, Daily Oppression, Oppression Daily, one of these things, but we're gonna celebrate this run with a little panel if you guys are up to it. If you guys want to hop up here, let's jump up on the panel and talk it out a little bit. Mind you, I just got my money right, so don't be up here saying a lot of dirty words. I don't think I've said more than two bad words this whole show. I think a video I played dropped an F-bomb, so that might count as 3. But I really like I'm operating like I got a swear jar. You know, if I say a bad word, I got to put $1 in the jar. So I'm trying to keep it cool. I'm trying to keep everything above board. This is the first day getting our money back. I don't want to lose it. They didn't let me make money. I only had monetization for like 3 months, and then they took it away. And it was a good 3 months. I felt like a real employee of the Alphabet company. Gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the show, man. We got our monetization back. I feel like a professional again. I'm gonna start wearing a suit and tie.
Yeah, you should. You should. What's going on, Hood? Hey,
Morning.
this is the bottom falling out of the democracy, and it's amazing to watch. You know, what's the name? FD Signifier. Like, he's talking about the young Black male channels, right? That he's trying to get a piece of because those are proliferating. And there's a few of them: LFR, JoJo, Cardi Family, yada yada. But the boys are not with it. The boys are right wing, and it's scaring them. Right? So he's basically, that whole thing is an admission. It is an admission. Are you talking, Hood? I can't hear you.
No, I was typing. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, man. It's just funny to watch, man. It's funny to see, and everything online, they're really pressed because it's happening. Right? It's happening. Like I said, that Stacey Abrams loss in the gubernatorial race, that was the high watermark. And it's just accelerating. It's glorious. Glorious.
You know, I did this show the other day about Black men. It was the Native Land podcast with Angela Rye and Tiffany Cross or whatever. And they were supposed to have a part 2 come out. And I think the part 2 actually did drop. I just didn't find it until afterwards, but I want to pull that up.
White folks, it's a shame on you, right? He had a conversation with America about how we're not red states and blue states. We're not Black states.
I didn't realize I was sharing that one. Go, you got it.
Yeah. Did you realize? I said it in the chat. FD sounded like the chicks from the Native podcast. Like, when you listen to everything he was saying, he sounded just like them.
Yeah. Well, this is why I really take issue with so much of the black male political left. It's because there is really no air between you and black women, and I just think it's weird that the men want exactly what the women want, nothing for themselves, apparently.
I hate to say it, Hood. Oh yeah, top of the morning to y'all.
Morning,
Yeah,
morning.
I'll be right back. I'm running into Panera real quick.
Got you.
Okay. I have found folly on both sides of parties as far as masculinity is concerned. Conservative. I have recently stumbled
Out as
upon
entertainment for people.
I had stumbled upon a New York Post article about a week ago about this thing called like wife maxing or some type of thing in which the right, the conservative right, that's trying to get this bearish thing, get everybody back into tradition. It is basically trying to remix the word cuckoldry. So the ones on the right want you to be a traditional cuck, while the ones on the left want you to be filled with soy bean oil and have liberal and ideologies.
Well, there's this new term going around called the conservative feminist, where it's basically women on the right wing who are closet feminists. They wrap themselves in the Bible and the gospel and love of Jesus and all that. But when you really peel it back, they're arguing from a position of female dominance. It's just because they're shielding themselves with the Bible, you're not supposed to notice it.
Wow.
Let me get into this piece over here with the crossroads. I want to finish what I started the other day reviewing this.
It's our politics and where we are today. We're going to pick up now with part 2 of that conversation. And just so you're not confused, we want to bring you up to speed on where we left the conversation yesterday. So you'll hear a few moments of talk from Thursday's episode as we bleed into this week's mini pod. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think.
So when we heard all throughout how they feel about how Democrats are responding to those actions, and we see a couple of very important trends. Number one is that a majority of Black voters do not agree with the way that Democrats are responding to Trump in Congress. Only 46% of Black voters approve of the way that Democrats have been responding to Trump in Congress. 46% of the most loyal voters in the Democratic coalition. Mm-hmm. This represents a crisis. Like Black Democrats are not where their electorate wants them to be. And then the second question over here that we got from Data for Progress asks the question: which of the following statements is closest to your opinion on how Democrats in Congress should approach the Trump administration? 22% of Black folks say that Democrats should keep their heads down and allow Trump and Republicans to expose themselves as failures. 22% say just let them fail. But 78% of Black folks, the overwhelming majority, want to see Democrats fight like hell.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean politically. You're going to burn more Teslas? Or you're going to twerk harder? You're going to have more out of wedlock births? Like, what does that mean? Fight like hell? I don't understand what they expect to do in this moment.
Now, Hood.
It doesn't mean anything. It's an emotional response. It doesn't mean anything, right?
Now,
what they're missing, what they can't grasp, what they can't wrap their heads around is the Overton window has shifted. Nobody wants this Marxist bullshit, right? So the thing they would need to do to be gain more power, is to just not be crazy, right? But they're still dying on the hill of men playing in women's sports, like they don't get it. So. I mean, Trump can basically do whatever he wants until they figure it out, or until the Democrat Party basically ejects all the Marxists.
Jump in there, Mr. O. You was trying to say something.
Now, Hood and Freedman and American Mad. Look at the gentleman on screen. Do you really think he's gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight for anything? I mean, dudes like him
That
and the B dub.
soft hat says no.
No, absolutely not. And the B dub that's putting the battery in his back to tell him to defend the so-called Democratic Party, despite the fact when he finally wakes up, when he finally get to look at the numbers, you're like, wait a minute, why I'm helping a party that's against my black straight ass? Well, that the straight part might still be out for determination. The hat and the shirt and the way he's looking at the screen, he might be a gone. So we'll hold that thought. Uh, but they ran out of everything that they could possibly run out of. They had beaten down racism to the race baiters can't use it no more. They had beaten down womanism, feminism, pussyism to the point that what is a woman? What is a woman? But y'all want all these so-called intersectional rights. And then the black man that's out here just looking so bewildered. He'll do anything for the Democratic strap because he wants to put. I'll pass the mic.
And so that is some of the frustration that we are picking up, the righteous indignation from the 73 million Americans that voted no to Donald Trump and that want to see what we've been describing as less of a minority party and more of an opposition party. Opposition is action. It is an active resistance to what is happening, and Black voters and Democratic voters want to see more of that. On the next slide, you'll see the impact of this, right? You'll see that when we just ask just pure approval rating, do you approve or disapprove of the job that Trump is doing and the job that Democrats are doing? Well, on the left there, you'll see, and I'm just going to give just the Black perspective, which is all the way at the bottom. In the first quarter of Donald Trump's first term in 2017, only 15% of Black folks agreed with what he was doing. 15%. Today, in the first quarter of the second term, 33% of Black folks approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing.
Are we watching the same movie? What is wrong with these people?
We have
it's
work
so
to
much
do, Angela.
worse. It is so much worse this time.
So much worse. It's so much worse. We have work to do connecting the dots for Black folks on how the actions that he's taking are actually hurting people, how tariffs will raise the price on goods that Americans already can't afford, how he's cutting FAA while planes are falling from the sky, and cutting National Weather Service while weather emergencies are killing people.
Thank you, Hood. I was gonna say, could you pause that?
Really
Now,
quick, before you jump in there, I got to tell you, the Democrats just have a credibility problem at this point. Remember when Al Gore said the icebergs would melt, like the polar ice caps would melt or something like that? We were supposed to have Greta Thunberg, remember she said the world would end in 5 years or something like that. They always have this, fear mongering, the sky is falling kind of argument. And then the next day comes and the sky never fell. And I think people, especially after like COVID and all that, people are just not really willing to believe as much.
there's a meme on what you had just said. There's a meme on how much political people lie, move the goalposts, and got come up with another lie to cover up the one they had just given you. In the 1960s, they said oil would be gone in 10 years. And once that lie didn't come into the 1970s, they said it was going to be another ice age in 10 years. When that didn't happen by 1980, they said acid rain would destroy all crops in 10 years. And when that never happened by 1990, Hood, Freeman, American Man, y'all probably got this in y'all memory banks right here. They said the ozone layer will be gone in 10 years.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, it's odd too. It's odd
And
too because I'm
one
sorry.
more. And by the 2000s, since neither one of them worked in 30 to 40 years, they said what Hood just said about the ice caps. The ice caps will be gone in 10 years. That was back in 2000s. Bypass.
Well, they also like they have this weird thing where they continue to tell us we like were all dying under Trump's presidency, under his first presidency. Like, they keep saying it was bad for you. You just don't know it. And they're trying to do it again. And it's like, dude, like, everyone sees you. Like, everyone lived under Trump's presidency. And yet you're still trying to tell me, no, you just don't understand. You were dying. You really don't see it. Like, no one's believing that anymore.
Hey, American man, how many people do you still see walk outside with the damn maskers on after being injected with 4 fucking and 5 shots of the jab? You know what I'm saying, telling that you are Islamophobe since you didn't follow and comply with the rules like everybody else.
Hey, I wouldn't dive into that on this channel, bro. I think we gotta stay away from that. It's still kind of going crazy. But as far as seeing people with masks, not many. Well, you know what? It depends on where I'm at, right? If I go into Whole Foods, a lot of them are still wearing masks.
A lot of folks might, yeah. If you're a guy in Chicago where Greg Abbott busts people in, and now housing is an issue for you and jobs are an issue for you because of all of these migrants, and you see that Trump is bringing in somebody to take the migrants back out, those people are not upset at Donald Trump today. Okay. And I think that there is a reality that we have to wrestle with, that the Democratic Party's failures on messaging is biting them in the ass daily. To Andrew's point that you got to fight at every round of the fight. George Foreman and Ali, when that fight happened in that day, Ali went rounds and rounds with him to wear him out.
They really think their problem is messaging.
Right.
I keep hearing this over and over again. It's messaging, and it's the bad product, bro. Like, you guys could have stopped all this immigration stuff and we would have been happy with you, but now Trump is doing it, so we're happy with him. That's how it works. It's really simple, you know?
No,
Exactly.
that's
That's
not
why Trump has
hood.
carte blanche right now, because they can't moderate. Right? There's no self-correcting mechanism. Right?
Yeah.
Their only thing is, well, we just didn't get the word out enough. If we just keep repeating our liberal incantations, sooner or later, you know, the center will go our way, because, you know, it's not that bad. Yeah.
On top of the immigration problem, we have a criminal problem. Curse the taxpayer, that's working honest job, being more oral, and you got the criminal element getting leniency, sentencing, or being released, and again kudos and all type of praise and prestige. Don't you think that's demoralizing as well?
Well, Hood, it's funny you mentioned something about the black community and how as soon as they have to look inward, they start blaming white supremacy. If you look at the black community, they are the Democrat Party in its entirety. As soon as the Democrat Party has to look inside, they say you, the voters, did it wrong. And if you would have just seen and looked, right, like, you would understand, but you are not doing it. Essentially, we are white supremacy to the Democrat Party. As soon as they have to look inward, for some reason, the voters is the problem.
I just saw Mayor Eric Adams just quit the Democrat Party. I'm scrolling through my Twitter right now. It's in the New York Post. Mayor Eric Adams of New York City just quit the Democrat Party, and he will seek re-election as an independent.
Can you say?
Oh, you didn't see that coming?
Oh, well, they were trying to get rid of him, right? How dare you work with Trump? Like, they're not having that, right?
Y'all can't tell me. Y'all can't tell me that
I think the midterms are going to be hilarious. Wait, go ahead, Mr. O.
Y'all remember that Bill Cosby cartoon from back in the day when he had a little kid named Little Bill? Y'all remember Little Bill? Don't Greg right now on this picture?
He does. He does look like Little Bill. Oh, Little Bill ain't blue no more.
Yo,
Yeah, well,
he does. Dang.
That's wild. What a day.
But that's hilarious, man. They're just going to keep running hardcore lefties, right? The midterms, who's it going to be? Hardcore lefties, right? And it's going to be like, well, we just got to get our messaging right. And people are going to want, all this female empowerment. And, oh, what is that?
Oh, they
Female
want to drop
empowerment, bro. This female.
they want.
This is an empowered African woman.
What the fuck?
Why is she holding a baby like a football or basketball though? Like, is that how y'all carry the babies in the motherland?
Is this Keisha Chucky version?
Bro, somebody sent me this video earlier today. I'm just like, I noticed most passport bros don't go to Africa.
n'elu oli son o bu n'aka na unu jikwere nwa m sọrọ m nwa ajegodi ije nwanne m mebie ya with swag onye ọbụla ga na-ekogodi chuli jiri nwayọọ no unu echefukwana na m fụrụ unu n'anya taa ka ihe na-eme.
Single motherhood in Africa looks even worse than it does over here.
Well, I mean, they started. I mean, they are the birthplace of civilization. So, I mean,
you saying this is the ancestors' culture?
It's epigenetic.
It's epigenetic, single motherhood. Nigga.
It looks worse because they don't have state-funded single motherhood.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, USA probably bought that outfit for her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is that a pyramid right behind her? Is this Sudan?
It does look like a pyramid. Nah, that's just somebody's roof though, but that does look like pyramid though. That's crazy. African architecture. All the houses are pyramids.
But I'm tripping though. She got the Jada Pinkett Smith from the Matrix hairstyle, but dressing like Cleo from Set It Off. Yeah. Um, yeah. Someone didn't look in the mirror that morning. Yeah.
Oh wow, this is a bit random, but oh my goodness, some of the worst content on the internet.
He literally just posts pictures of his dog.
I don't care. Block him. I know his intentions he has with you. You don't understand how guys' brains work. And
making my girlfriend finally block her guy best friend.
Block all of his accounts.
He literally just posts pictures of his dog.
I don't care. Block him. I know his intentions he has with you. You don't understand how guys' brains work. And he's not just a friend. He likes you.
I don't think you understand how girls' brains works. Why is she crying?
Yo, I was just about to say, I don't think he understands when it's time for him to go. Bro, like if she's crying over another man, that's not your girlfriend, buddy.
I mean, see, the
she was locked in.
Then we just discussed the coquetry of white men just a few minutes ago. This is it.
Yeah, this is another dynamic, I guess. I just was scrolling through Twitter and stuff. I'm just doing random shit right now, and I just found this video.
No, he doesn't.
And you don't need to explain it to him. You don't need to open up the door for conversations. Yes.
Accounts. Like, you don't have to block
To answer your question, American Man, she's crying because she losing her backup.
Because of you.
I don't care.
Because he knows I wouldn't do this. He's gonna think you took my phone and did this.
Block him.
Well,
Looking at his page, like
I know how guys'
here's the
brains
best part.
work.
Is that you know she demands that he block every single woman he's ever known, including his mother.
I'm doing this for us.
Okay.
Block all of his accounts.
He literally just posts pictures of his dog.
I don't care. Block him. I know his intentions he has with you. You don't understand how guys' brains work. And he's not just a friend. He likes you.
No, he doesn't.
And you don't need to explain it to him. You don't need to open up the door for conversations. Yes.
Accounts. Like,
See when
that was you, David.
You heard
no,
that.
You got it though.
So See when Becky, see this is the difference between Keisha and Becky. See, Becky, she knows when she give up one of her so-called orbiters or whatever, what have you. She knows it's gonna be a bitch to try to get back out here and try to get someone on that same level. The B-Dub, Keisha, she believes that she ain't even gotta go ahead and go through that. She'll go ahead and drop the boyfriend and go ahead and find another goofy. And think she could do that till she's 60. Go figure.
Listen, the internet is just changing things, man. We didn't have videos like this when I was in high school. Everything was sweet. We believed in love and happiness and forever.
Wait, what? But Hood, you only a few years older than me, man. Come on now. You remember the MTV what's the name? You remember what was that shit called Undressed? Dog, we had all type of diabolical stuff that was predating this. Like
I mean,
this here.
yeah, but the point I'm really making though is this something that is really effective about like this kind of content where it's just women kind of telling on themselves. We didn't really have just this explosion of women showing their worst side up until recently.
Jerry Springer, anybody?
Yeah, Jerry Springer made it look like it was just ghetto people.
Yeah, and also Jerry Springer, right? I think we were able to disassociate with that because it was television.
Right, because we kind of knew it was fake and scripted at a level, but this is just regular people.
Right. It's the saturation. You know what I mean? Like you had to tune into Jerry Springer. Now, anytime you pick up your cell phone, right, you're exposed to the worst of women, if you know what I mean. Right?
Who grandmother is this? Look at that grandmama twerk.
Put up to the screen.
Even hearing someone's grandma twerking is kind of like
she gonna blow her whistle.
No, she gonna blow a knee on her hip. Get it, Esther. Get it, Miss
Get
Esther.
it, Esther. Get it, Esther. Go get your life, Esther. Go get it. Just shake that thing.
Yo, let's keep it real, right? If we seen our grandmothers do that, dude, it would be mayhem.
Oh, I'm getting up. I'm not listening, man. Grandmama, mama, y'all can't be embarrassing me in public like this. Hell
Yeah,
no.
bro. Bro, that's not standard, bro.
Yeah, I couldn't stop you when I was little. I flip the table over now. God damn it.
yeah, that's not standard, bro. Like,
ain't no way in hell, man. See, that is the final level of being like a black man. You realize these women be out of control. You gotta take a stand because this if you don't take a stand, it'll turn into this right here.
And that's a boomer. Imagine millennials in 20 years.
And the women will all cheer it on. Like the women don't really maintain standards the way you think they do, bro.
Like, there's no way, bro. Absolutely not, bro.
All right. I think we've seen enough. I think we've all done enough for the day. We should end this now before it gets dark. I might lose my monetization.
No. I mean,
yeah, bro. You might want to let it be.
Monetized run ever.
Yeah, bro. Hell, yeah, that's out of line. I can't, bro. And my grandfather would have shook my hand afterwards.
Man,
thank you, grandson. Thank you.
He'll be like Bernie back from House Party, be like, man, I remember her. They used to call her motherfucker hula hoop, hell it. Back in the motherfucker 80s, boy. You don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, man. Gotta teach the youngins. That's all, man. You gotta explain it to these young boys, man. These hoes gonna ruin your life. They're gonna ruin everything. I gotta
85.
So I gotta wrap this up, y'all. This was the first official monetized run. I feel like I should just dump all the content I have right now and start totally from scratch, but I'm not gonna do nothing like that. We're gonna keep this up. I think I did a solid show today. We didn't do a lot of professional. I mean, we didn't do a lot of profanity or whatever. So we're gonna keep this one up. And I will catch you guys later. We might come back later with another show, actually. It looks like I got a whole bunch of time all of a sudden. So we might come back with another show later. But this one is done. I will see y'all on the next one, man. Shout out to the panel. Thank y'all for coming up, man. Appreciate
guys.
I will catch y'all later, man. Peace, y'all.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.